Hello and welcome to this Functional Skills Maths Level 1 and 2 video on calculating percentage changes. The learning outcome for this session is to calculate the percentage change and original value after a percentage change. The little L2 in the top right hand corner indicates that this is for Level 2 students. The linked learning for this session links back to fractions and calculating fractions of an amount. So in previous lessons, we would have learnt how to do 2/5 of 100, either on the calculator or manually by moving the denominator across and working out that 100 divided by 5 is 20 and 2 times 20 is 40. Percentage change requires you to remember a very easy formula. And that formula is that percentage change is equal to the actual change. So in other words, the difference between your starting amount and your finishing amount divided by the original amount that you had times 100. It looks complicated, but it is nice and straightforward. For example, if I bought a jacket in the sales and that my jacket was originally priced at £50 and the price is reduced in the sale to £40, then what is the percentage that it has been reduced by? So I have my original amount and I have my new amount, and I work out the difference between the two. So this actual change is £50 originally, take away the 40 that it's gone to, so we've had a £10 change. Then put these values into our little formula here. So the percentage change is the actual change, which is the £10, the difference between the new and the original, divided by the original amount, which is 50, and then multiplied by 100 to give us our percentage. Now we can do this manually because the denominator can be moved across, and 100 divided by 50 is 2. So 10 times 2 is 20. So the percentage change when I go from £50 down to £40 is a 20% reduction in price. So here's a functional skills type question on percentage change. In 2016, 20 million mobile phones were sold. In 2017, 27 million mobile phones were sold. What is the percentage increase in the number of mobile phones sold from 2016 to 2017? So we're looking for the percentage increase, in other words, the percentage change, and we've gone from 20 million to 27 million. Now, as far as percentage increase is concerned, you really need to remember to find percentage change. It's the difference divided by the original times 100. And our numbers in this problem are 20 and 27, with 20 being the original amount and the amount increasing to 27. So the differences between our two amounts is 7. Now notice how we've dropped the million, and we discussed this in earlier lessons. When you're doing calculations with big numbers with millions, there's no point writing the zeros. Just drop the word and do the maths. So here we've got a 7 million difference between the two. So the difference is 7 divided by the original amount, which is 20, and they're both millions, and then we need to multiply it by 100 to work out our percentage change. Now we've done it in the non-calculator method here, where we can move our denominator across, and 100 divided by 20 is 5, and 7 times 5 is 35. So the percentage increase is 35%. The percentage has gone up 35%. Have a go at these two questions and see what you come up with for the percentage changes. Don't forget, in order to do these questions, you need to remember that the percentage change is equal to the difference between the two divided by the original times 100. Okay, let's look at the first one. The price of a sandwich in a canteen goes up from £2 to £2.26. Express the increase in price as a percentage of the original price. Let's have a look at the question. So the price of a sandwich in a canteen goes up from £2 to £2.26. Express the increase in price as a percentage of the original. So the first thing we need to do is look at the two amounts. So I've got 226 pence for the new amount and I've got £2 as my original amount. So it's gone up 26 pence. So this is the difference. And the £2 is the original. So in order to calculate our percentage change, the difference divided by the original amount times 100. That's what our formula tells us. So here, in order to do this, we don't have to do that. We can do it manually this way. So it's 26 times, and 100 divided by 200 is a half. So it's a half of 26, which is 13%. Did you get the correct answer? Let's look at the second one. In April, 1,000 people visited an art exhibition. In May, 1,220 people visited the same art exhibition. What was the percentage increase in the number of visitors to the art exhibition between April and May? So we've got our new amount of 1220, and we're going to take away our original amount of 1,000. So we have 220 as our difference. To calculate our percentage change using our formula up here, it's the difference divided by the original times 100. And again, it's no different from what we've been doing before. So we don't do that, we do this. And when we calculate what's left, 100 divided by 1,000 is 1/10. So the amount is 1/10 of 220. So that's essentially dividing 220 by 10, our fractions of amounts. So we end up with 22. And that is a percentage change of 22% between April and May. Okay, finally, another go for you. A car was bought a year ago for £2,000. It is now worth £1,600. By what percentage has the car depreciated in value? So the original is 2,000. The new price is 1,600. So the difference is £400. So remembering our percentage change formula, the difference divided by the original times 100. So our difference is 400 divided by our original, which is 2,000, and then multiplied by 100. In this case, you could move the denominator over here and cancel the zeros. So if you wanted to rewrite it, it is 1/20 of 400. That's what's left once we've cancelled everything out. We know how to work out a fraction of an amount. So 40 divided by 2 is 20. So what percentage is the car depreciated by? It's depreciated by 20%. The other part of the learning outcome for this lesson is to work out the original value of something after a percentage change. And this links to percentage increases and decreases that we've used before, but using the decimal system. So we talked about in a previous video that if you want to increase by 40%, then you would take your £80 and multiply it by 1.4, 1 being the original amount and the 0.4 increasing that amount by 40%, because 0.4 is the same as 40%. If you can't remember why, go back to the fractions, decimals and percentages lesson where we show you the relationship between the three. Then all you would need to do is multiply 80 by 1.4 to work out the amount. Don't forget, if you were doing it manually, you've also got the 10% method. But for this lesson, it was important to refresh the decimal method. So in order to work out the original value after a percentage change, we need to understand what's going on. So here's an example before we get you to do some questions. If my jeans cost £40 in the sales and they were reduced by 20%, what was the original cost? So I have my original amount that I'm trying to find, and I know they're now worth £40. So this original amount was reduced by 20%. So this amount was multiplied by 0.8. So in order to work out the original amount, we have to take the 40 and come the other way. We have to divide it by 0.8. So if you can't remember how to do this manually, we have 40 and we want to divide it by 0.8, so we make that 8 by multiplying it by 10, and if we multiply this by 10, we multiply this by 10 to make it 400. So 8 goes into 400 50 times. So the original amount was £50. So can you see how this works? We have an original amount that we're trying to find that we've reduced by 20%. That means we've multiplied it by 0.8. This gives us the £40 that we know about. So to go back to the original amount, we do the opposite. So instead of multiplying by 0.8, we divide it by 0.8. When you divide 40 by 0.8, either on the calculator or using our manual method, you get 50, giving you the original amount back. Okay, let's have a couple of goes at practicing finding the original value after a percentage change. A shop has a sale where 20% is taken off all prices. A top is now worth £24. What was the original price? So we had something that has been reduced by 20%, so it's been multiplied by 0.8 to give us the £24. So what we need to do to find the original place is divide 24 by 0.8. So going back to dividing by decimals, the way to do this, move the decimal place there one place, and then move the decimal there one place. So the same answer is 8 into 240. So 8 goes into 24 3 times, no remainders. So the original amount was £30. Our second example shows that an antique is sold for £550, which is 10% increase on the price that it was bought for. How much was the antique originally? So we've got the original price, we've got an increase of 10%. So we've multiplied something by 1.1 to get 550. So in order to find the original price, we need to divide it by 1.1. Doing this manually, you could do it quickly and easily on a calculator. Doing it manually, move this decimal place one place and move this one place to give you 11 divided into 5,500. 11 doesn't go into 5, but 11 goes into 55 5 times. So the original amount was £500. And that completes the learning outcome to calculate percentage change and original value after a percentage change. So percentage change is one of the first things we've got to remember. So percentage change is equal to the difference divided by the original amount times 100. And the original value is the first value that is mentioned. So it's the starting place for your amounts. And that concludes this video. If you'd like more practice on the topics we've covered, please go to Moodle or talk to your teacher and get some additional worksheets.